Alright, hello everyone. I am Samin from Mathstree, and in today's video, we will be looking at a question paper from Maths B. And for this video, I've chosen the year of 2019. And for our first video, we will be solving paper 1. And we will try to divide this question paper into a few steps. So for the first time, for this particular clip, we will be solving from 1 to 5. Okay, so it says write 8, 6, 9, 3 to two significant figures, as you guys can see. And for that reason, as it says to write down in two significant figures, we choose the first two digits, which is 8 and 6. Now understand this as because there is a 9 over here, and automatically it becomes a 7. So we choose 8, 7, double 3. It becomes to two significant figures. We get the first one mark. And in part B, it is asking us to write down 0.0374 to two significant figures. Understand this. There is a concept which you have to understand is that, as it says, write down in two significant figures, so we cannot actually take 0 into consideration. Even if there is a decimal over here, even if there is no decimals over here, understand that 0 cannot be taken down into consideration when it comes to solving about significant figures. So our answer is going to be something like 0.037. Okay, so understand this, that if the question would have asked us to write down this exact thing into decimal places, then we would have actually taken 0 into consideration. But as it is asking us to solve this in significant figures, then we actually write down this one as our answer. Proceeding to number 2, it is asking us to find down the LCM of these particular three numbers over here. So simply what we do is that we write down the division of this. We actually find out the factors of all of these three. So 18 gets divided by 9, it furthermore gets divided by 3, 30 gets divided by 15, gets divided by 5, 2 divided by 24, 2 divided by 12, 2 divided by 3, 6, 2 divided by 3, 3 into 1. Okay, so we write down this as the products of prime factors, which is 2 into 3 square. Then we write down this 2 into 3 into 5. Then we write down 2 to the power 4 into 3. Understand this, when it is asking us to find down the LCM, we include each and every single digit over here, which is 2 into 3 into 5. Then our next step is to find out that which digit has the highest number of powered values. Okay, so as you can see that there it is 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 1, and 2 to the power 4. So we bring down 2 to the power 4, and in the next one we try to choose with 3. We see that there is 2 or 3 square. Then there is 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power 1. So we choose 3 square, and then we bring down 5. 5 exists only over here, so we write down 5. So after calculation, our answer should come somewhere around 720. So 720 should be the answer. Okay. In number 3, it is asking us to make a pattern with squares. A pattern is given which is white squares and shaded squares. And in A, it is asking us to find one square to make a pattern with exactly one line symmetry. Okay. So understand this. What you guys should actually be able to do is that when you see the question paper, the first and foremost thing that should click inside of your head is that from which chapter the question is given. Only that makes you better with these chapters. So our goal is to find the line symmetry of the first question. Okay, so what does the line symmetry mean is that if there is a rectangular page over here, if I were to draw it a little better, if I were to bring a shape over here, so if this is a page, an A4 size page, so we are trying to do is that we are trying to solve the question we are trying to solve the question. So how do we do that is that we try to divide this page into 4 equal parts. So our goal is to somehow flip this particular page on this particular portion, okay? Or in other words, what we can do is that our goal is to flip this particular portion on this. So if we were to somehow replicate this over here, then I would suggest is that we shed this one so that this particular portion falls exactly on this particular portion. Moving on, the next question is asking us to find the rotational symmetry of order 2. Now, if I were to brush up your basics a bit, then order 2 is basically like how many times the figure covers itself in 360 degree. So if we were to go back into our basics, then if this was our sample diagram of particular shape, then if we were to turn this to 90 degree clockwise, it becomes something like this. Then if we were to turn this into 90 degree furthermore clockwise, it becomes something like this, and then it becomes something like this. So in short, what we are supposed to do is that we are supposed to visualize to how many times this particular figure rotates and covers itself in 360 degree. And if it is asking us to find the rotational symmetry of order 2, right? So what I can visualize is that if this was supposed to rotate a further of 90 degree, and then a furthermore of another 90 degree, which would have been a 180 degree rotation, then the shape is going to be somewhere around over here. Okay, so this should be your shaded part. So both of this actually gets you 2 marks for your question. Then we go and solve this particular question. It is a mixed fraction, and even without reading the question, I can actually visualize that the question examiner is asking me to turn this fraction into an improper fraction first, and then furthermore turn this into a simplified version. Okay, so let's go and try to solve this one. This is perhaps like a grade 2 maths. So these are the questions that actually gives you 3 marks. Now if you actually fumble and have difficulties trying to solve this one, then I'm sorry, there's nothing that can be done. So 4 into 2, it becomes 8 plus 9 divided by 6 3 is 18. 18 plus 3 becomes 23. As we guys know that 9 divided by 4, if we multiply this, then it becomes a numerator, it becomes a denominator. Okay, so we multiply 9. If you guys can actually see the calculator, 9 by 4 into 6 divided by 23, it gives us 27 by 46. Okay, now there is no way that we can actually further simplify this. This is the simplified version. We have turned this mixed fraction into an improper fraction, so this should be your answer. Now the last maths of today that we will be solving, which is going to be number 5, and even without seeing what the question is telling me, I can actually understand this question is from calculus chapter. If this is the question that has been provided and it is asking us to find the gradient, which is dy by dx. So without further ado, let's just go and solve this one. So it says 2x to the power 4 divided by 3x squared, and for further simplification we actually bring 3x to the power minus 2 upwards, and if we were to do a dy by dx of this one, so 4 goes right in front, so it becomes 8 x to the power 3. And I'm not going to be going into the basic details because this is basically question paper solving, and I will be bringing up a video with differentiation calculation, so where I will go in details on how things work on these particular questions. Okay, so 3 minus 3 into minus 2, it becomes plus 6, and then it becomes 9. Okay, so This is basically our dy by dx. It doesn't have any value. If it was something like, the question was something like this, that when x is equals to 3, we would have actually put this x equals to 3 in this question, and then we would have actually come up with a numerical value. But since there is no numerical number given over here, this becomes our gradient, this becomes our dy by dx, which is 8x to the power 3 and 6x minus 3. Okay, so I think we are done with this one. It's been a long video of explaining concepts, so we are done with 1 to 5 of May 2019, and in the next video we will be solving from 6 to 10. So yeah, tata.